let's come to the second part, that is the HTML. So here we created our component, and I told you that the component should have an HTML whose name should exactly match the name of the component. And also we did not discuss about this property, that is the name property. So basically in your HTML, like here I have my HTML, let me just remove this, everything. And here is my sample HTML. Okay? Now, here inside the HTML, in case if you want to read anything that has been inputted inside the dialog, what you can do is you can read it by using $ bracket starts and bracket close properties dot. Now
That's
what?
nice.
Yeah, exactly that name. So this name actually helps you identify the value that the author will input inside the dialog. So here the name is this first name. So let me just copy this first over here. Over here. Okay. Let me put BR. Okay. In the same way, if you want to read the last name, let me just copy it. And this is my last name. And this will be last name. And now if I refresh my page, let me just input the first name. Let me say sample code. And you would see here is my sample HTML. First name is sample, last name is code. Okay. So here, whatever we are inputting inside the dialog, we are reading it inside the components HTML and displaying it on the page. So everything that is inputted inside the dialog, we can further read by using $ properties and the name. So this is the name. And so see, the purpose of having this / before the name is actually this page is created over here, and this / actually tells that this property with this name and the value that will be inputted inside the dialog should get stored inside this page. Like if I go to this page, this content, and if I go over here.
Yeah. And also, yes, there is a node actually there.
Yeah. So here, so the container, just do a soft refresh. It's container, and there is a sample one. And here you can see this is the last name. This is the first name.
Yep.
Okay. Now, if I change this from / first, okay, let's say sample / if I say it like this, then the first name value would be / sample / first name. Okay.
Yeah.
Now if I refresh this and if I input some value, what it will do is it will further create the sample node over here, the content hierarchy, and below that the value will be stored. So if I input some value, okay, new sample, and if I save it, and if I refresh this, here you can see below the sample what there is a sample node that is created, and there I have this first name. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Just one question. Okay, the code that you wrote in the HTML file, so this is like after authoring the dialog, right?
Yes.
It's rendering the dialog.
Yes.
So what if we want to have some code that somehow, like, you know, on the fly, like when they put some input field on the like component itself, so some code will be trigger or something like that. So that's JS, right?
Like in the dialogue, you mean to say some showing and hiding.
Yeah, something like that. Like
Yeah. So you
like if
need to,
they input something in one field, then another field appear or some sort of these things. Like
yes. Okay. So that for that also you have to write some jQuery, that is
that's
JS.
jQuery. Okay, okay.
I will tell you, let's do one thing. I will tell you about these two things tomorrow, in the next session. That is the validation and also this showing and hiding.
Yeah, yeah, that's good actually.
How
Because
will you
I didn't know actually like how to, is it like an Ajax call or is it like a
no, no.
jQuery or?
It's basically a simple jQuery, but
Mhm.
actually not in the next session. I will tell you, but for that, I also have to tell you the client lips concept. So I
Uh-huh.
will tell you the client lips concept and then I will tell you about this. Okay, may
Okay,
not, of course, not in the next session, but
okay.
in coming one of the session, I will tell you.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay.
Yeah, great.
So here inside the HTML, how would you read the properties that is inputted inside the dialog by using this? So similar way, you can read the other properties, that is the age. So age is, how would you read it?
So
Age,
right now you change the like the first name to sample first name, right? So
I
here,
reverted. Yeah.
okay. So if you want to access to that, then it will be like dot sample dot first name.
Yes, yes. So here also. Yeah.
Okay, okay, got it.
Okay.
Mhm.
The same way I can read age and the other values as well. Now, this HTML, of course, you can write all this HTML is HTML5. So this HTML5 basically why we are using HTML is because previously we were Adobe preferred writing JSPs,
Mm.
but JSPs is like they didn't bring modularity with them. So there within JSP we can write the Java code by using scriptline, we can write HTML and we can write the JavaScript as well. Everything can be written. So that was the disadvantage. Like there is all the code get merged into single file and it become very cumbersome to read the code. So that is why to bring the modularity, Adobe comes up with the HTML concepts and they created their own set of attributes and tag through which you can do some manipulations with HTML. So, like to do some manipulation in JSP, you can of course do every type of manipulation because you can use scriptlet tags and there within that you can write Java. Okay. But here, since in HTML you cannot use Java, that is why here Adobe has provided some set of tags and attributes through which you can do some manipulation. Like we were discussing of how would you include an HTML within HTML. Okay.
Mhm.
So all those tags and attributes are created by Adobe with the help of a language or that language is called as Sightly. Okay. So Sightly is an HTML5 scripting language through which you can achieve some manipulation within AEMs like components HTML5. Okay. So like I have this. Okay, let's start with the discussion on some of the tags or basically mainly the attributes provided by Sightly. So Sightly is an AEM HTML5 scripting language which basically is built on top of HTML file, but it has its own set of tags and attributes through which you can do some manipulation within HTML. Okay. So how, what all tags are there and what all attributes are there, we will discuss now. So let's div, of course, div is a basic HTML5 or HTML tag. Basically, Sightly has a huge set of like a collection of attributes, and there is only one tag which is available within Sightly. So one tag and multiple attributes. All the attributes of Sightly starts with data minus minus the name of that attribute. So like data slide, if you want to include an HTML within HTML, the one that we were discussing, so the name will be data slide include. And let's say the name of your another HTML is hello world one.html. So that's what I did. Okay. And let me just save it. What I used is data slide include. In normal HTML, of course, you cannot include an HTML within HTML, but here we can do. And I said this will be renamed to sample word -1. Okay. And let me just save it. Okay. Now this is here I will say this is my sample word 1 HTML. Okay, and let me close the other ones. And the sample one, let me put yeah, okay, BR is there. So what I said is div is the tag, of course, to use any attribute, you have to use some tag inside in HTML basically. So here also I used this and I said let's use div, or you can use any other tags like paragraph also, or any other anchor, anything like that. Okay, and then basically you have to use this data slide include to include your HTML. So here if I refresh it, so you can see my age. Let me input my age, like let's say 30. And here you can say the age is printed, and after that, this is my sample word 1 HTML. Okay, likewise, if you want to have some other HTML as well, so in the same way, you can do like this. Like consider there is another HTML that is sample word 2. So just copy this and paste this. Okay, T2 and okay, and 2. Pretty simple. So this, by using this data slide include, you can include an HTML within another HTML. Okay.
Yes.
Similarly, there is another tag inside that is data slide test, which helps you in performing if, not else, but yes, mainly it's if. So if you want to perform any if operation, like let's say, here you can see, okay, these two are printed. So if say your, okay, the name, if the first name is sample, then okay, print something. So I will say data slide test, okay, and then equal to, and then the operation that you want to perform. Let me firstly close this div. And now to perform any operation, again you have to use this dollar. So what was the operation? Properties. Firstly, I will get the name. So how did I get the first name? Through this properties dot first name. Okay. So if I say properties dot first name is double equal to sample, okay, then you say uh, okay, so there is this. There I will say my first name is sample, and let's put an if condition. So how would you put an if condition? Is like this is not equal to my name, my first is not sample. Let's say not as this. Okay. Now if I will refresh it, so there is no else. It's just data slide test that perform if. If you want to perform else, then you have to use the other way around. Okay, but there is only one attribute, that is data slide test, to perform if and else both. So here you can see my first name is not sample because S is capital. Now if I make it S small, you can see my first name is sample over here. Okay. Also, if you want to check like my first name is sample and like similar way, like and age is greater than and age is let's say less than 35. Okay. And I am still young. Okay. Else, okay, let's not say anything about. Okay. So if I refresh this and I said if age is less than 35, then this condition will become true. So in our case, what was the age? Age is 30. Okay. Why did my code not get printed? This is simple one. And properties dot age is less than 35. I think it is taking it as Boolean. We have to convert it into, oh sorry, it is taking it as string. So we have to convert it. Okay, I will see how you can convert it, but yes, like you can perform the other operation as well, like uh, also perform the other valid, like basic if operation. That's what I wanted to tell you. Okay, like maybe if you wanted to say and okay, let's say if property dot age, you mean to say there is an age value inputted.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so here I'm saying that first name should be sample and there should be an age. And I have an age. I have an age. Okay, so here I'm saying that the age has been inputted. So this way, if you will refresh, yeah, you can see this is my father and I have an age. If I remove this age, say then nothing will be printed. And if I say sample 21, yeah, you can see my name is not sample. Okay.
Yeah.
So this was another thing. This was another. Just a minute. Okay. So here, let me go to preview and let's say, so these were the text that I printed. Okay. Now if I refresh this, if I inspect this, like if I inspect this, my first name is not sample or the other ones as well, like this one. Here you will see that there are empty divs that are being added. These are
Mm-hmm.
empty divs, and I use these divs over here, like div to have the data slide include. Similarly, div to have my data slide test. So here also, if you will see, let me just scroll down. Here also we have the empty divs. And why these divs were added? Because I have to just include the HTML or just perform this data slide test operation. Of course, these divs are not needed and they make an like hamper the structure of your HTML. So what AEM has provided is, or what basically Sitely has provided is just one tag is there in Sitely that helps us in removing all these unnecessary tags that we have to provide. Because of course, if you have to use any attribute, you have to provide a tag. So AEM provides us with a tag that is sly. Okay, so if I use sly over here, if I use, okay, let me use just sly over here. That is while including the sample. So this is one tag that is being provided by Sitely. What it does is it removes any surrounding empty tags. If I refresh this, and if I inspect this, okay, let me just refresh this. Let me go to preview. Okay, I'm on preview. Okay. Yeah, you can see for this is my sample word 1 HTML. There is no surrounding tag because I used I over here. In the same way, if you use lie on other places as well, like over here, and similarly over here, all the places. So this way, all the surrounding tags and surrounding unnecessary tags basically will be removed because we need to have tags to use attributes. So here, if you will inspect this, you will see all the unnecessary tags are now gone. Okay?
Yeah.
By using this lie as my as tag. Okay.
Yeah.
So this is the only tag provided. Rest there are attributes. Okay. Let's understand some other attribute. So we went through this data slide include, data slide test. There are other like data slide. What are others? Okay, I think just give me a bit. Others are there. Uh, yes. Data supply. Okay, yeah, there is a data slide list that performs the iteration operation. Like if you have an array list or if you have an hash map, how would you perform the iteration over there? Then you will use a data slide list. But we will discuss about this data slide list when we will discuss when we will go to the backend Java. So from backend, we will return an array list to our front end, and that over that I will show you how you will iterate. Okay, so data slide list is there. Then there is data slide resource that I will tell you. But before that, let me tell you some others. Let me try to find some others inside some other HTMLs. Uh, okay, let me try to get it from some of the core components. Okay, you can see there are so many. You can see everywhere there is data slide use. Okay, so data slide use is being used to call the backend Java file. So here you can see they are calling the backend Java file. So carousel may be some class written by using the package name. They are calling the backend Java file. Of course, you would be knowing because you are also I think calling it the Sling models. I'm just trying to see some other data slide. So I will discuss the data slide soon, but I wanted to discuss that later. List.
Yeah, test. Data is like call.
Yes. Okay. Data slide call is used to call templates. So, okay, let's discuss on this. Okay. So, let's discuss on this data slide call. So we have templates in our Sitely. So templates are like we have functions in Java. So basically you can call those functions by passing some parameters, and those function will behave using those parameters. It will perform some operation. In the same way we have templates in Sitely. So with templates you write some HTML which is capable of receiving some parameters, and by using that it will print or it will like write your HTML. So basically you will create template which will be some HTML code, and you can call that template any number of time or from any places by passing some parameters. Similarly, like we have function. So Let me just show you how will you firstly write that. So here you have this template. Let me just copy it from here. Commerce V1. Okay, so here we have this template. Let me just copy this. Okay, and let me just paste it inside line one. So line one was here. Yeah, okay. So let me just paste it over here. So what I did is I copied this template.html. It has some code. So here you would see again the slice, the tag, and here we use the data slide template. Like we create a method in Java. So similarly consider it as a method which has a name. So this is the name of this method. Plus it is capable of receiving these as the parameter. So here let us say that we are not receiving these many parameters, but we are just receiving this name over here. Okay. So here we are receiving this name and we are printing it here. The inside name and hobbies. Hobbies. Okay, so okay, so here I said that I'm capable. This method is capable of receiving two parameters, and inside my template with name as, so here is the name and hobbies as, so this is the hobbies parameter. Okay. Now the next step. So here what we did is we created a method, you can say, or a template whose name is this placeholder, or I can give it a name as sample method. Just making it similar to what we have in Java.
So we
here,
should call this one in,
yes, sample word.html. In our sample word, we will call this. So how we can call this is, likewise, what they did is they included this template, and how they further called is by using the data slide call. Like what we do is just a data slide use. Yeah. So I will also go just close the others. Yeah. So inside the sample word, what I will use is the data slide use. So, and here, where is my HTML? It is over here. So let me just copy this and paste it over here. So here I said, like you create the object. Firstly, if you have to call a method of a file, then firstly you create the object of that file. So this is the way we created the object of my file. So what I said is, by using the data slide use, I created the object of my this HTML and received the object inside this variable.
access
Template.
the methods, right? Okay.
Yes. Now, if you have to access the methods, then you have to use data slide call. Like here, we are calling it the same way. We will also call the methods inside our this templates HTML that we have written. So we received the object of this templates.html over here. And now, what was the name of our method? It was sample. Yeah. So we will use this sample method over here, and then we will pass the value of our these variable names. So this was this, and it was hobbies. So hobbies is what, let's say, no hobbies. And my name is simple name. Okay. Okay, pretty straightforward. What I did is I created this template.html. Basically, it's a class like we have in Java. And here I have some methods. One method is this sample method. In case if you want to create another method, then you just copy paste it and just write it over here. So this will become another method. And the sample method, this was, let's say this was sample method 1 and this is sample method 2. Okay, so inside the this over here, to call the sample method 1, you will write this sample method 1, because you to call, firstly you create the object of this by using the data slide use, and then to call the methods of this, you have to again by using the object of that class, you have to call the method passing the variable names. So here, let me put an BR again and refresh this. Okay, you can see inside my template with name as sample name and hobbies as no hobbies.
No hobbies.
That would be printed over here. If you want to pass the values that we are passing over here, then you can even do it in this way. So here, okay, the first name is what we can pass over here like this, and hobbies would also become okay, sorry, we do not have to provide this because we are already inside these braces. Like this, and over here. In case if it's failing, it will give you the log issue inside the log file, error log file. If you know the log file, I hope you know it, or inside the HTML page only, it will throw the error.
And also we can like print out something, right? Also,
Sorry, come again.
we can also like print and log, right?
Yes, yes. So if you want to print something like just see, we are printing the values over here. In the same, you can it will like you can print like whatever the value that you are getting, and if you want to just display it on page, you can just use this dollar property and whatever you.
Okay.
Okay, so this was the template concept. So basically, template concept is similar to what we have in methods or utility classes in Java, where you can create the methods in a separate class, and then you can use that inside your other HTML files. Basically, they work dynamically because depending upon whatever the parameters that we are passing, they will behave like that. So inside, if you want to call the second method inside my template with of inside my template with method sample this, okay, and inside this you can call your sample method too. So a different HTML will be rendered. You can see sample method 2 and sample method 2, whatever the name that you will pass. So if you pass, say, and basis okay, save it. You can see inside my template method as Raja and hobbies as professional dancer. Okay. Any questions, any doubts till now in dialogue in HTML, that is Sightly. So basically Sightly is our, okay, one more thing about Sightly, it's based on HTML5. where we have some attributes provided through which you can do some manipulation, plus one single tag, that is slide. So slide basically removes our surrounding tag, so that there should not be any like issue with the HTML. It will be all there should not be any surrounding unnecessary empty tags. And okay, and one of the most important thing about Sightly is that it provides, by default provides XSS, that is cross-site scripting protection. So if anything, if someone tries to like if there is any vulnerability or someone tries to input some script on your code, that will get prevented by the Sightly. So it by default it uh, like provide XSS protection.
Okay. Okay.